Welcome to the program, Politics Today. Our guest for now, I have Comrade Roy. Comrade Roy, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
We also have here Comrade Collins Osagai. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Duke. Good morning, viewers.
Yesterday, it was a gale of judgment from the Supreme Court. I mean, I've lost count on how many judgments came forth, but I think there were some that were quite interesting to a lot of people. The outcome of that judgment was something that people look forward to, particularly in Kano State, in Zamfara State, in Plateau State. I think these were the major states where people were really concerned about how the outcome would be. But now we can see that there's so much of commendation to the judiciary. Let me begin with you, Collins, here.
Thank you very much. I, for one, I will always say I do not have confidence in Nigerian judiciary. But that as it may, when it favors the judiciary is good.
Yeah.
Done very well.
Okay.
But when it doesn't favor you, the judiciary have indeed stolen democracy.
Okay.
But however, we want to thank God the way it went. Though for some of us, some were something we couldn't explain. Even when the Supreme Court took those decisions by affirming some of those governors.
Okay.
Give
me an example of that.
First, the issue of Kano State.
Okay.
For example, where the vote that was deducted was replaced back. Now, the electoral guidelines are clear. For you to have a paper or the facilities for voting, it must be signed upon, stamped upon, with the dates. And these ones that were removed didn't have stamp, didn't have dates, and didn't have signature. They were just a mere paper. Like any other person could just get a textbook, a notebook, tear a paper, and do whatever you want. But for the lordship, they felt it really didn't count. But also they must understand what they do or what they say today becomes law because to be gazetted. At the level of the Supreme, you do not go back to start making law. Whatever they say automatically becomes law. So I hope in the nearest future, their own children will not be victim of this kind of judgments.
Right. Let me get Roy to react to these judgments. In a sense, I've heard people talk about them, and in a sense, it's as though when some of the cases, we were able to predict how it's going to turn out. I mean, I think it's whether it's in Abia State where Governor Oti is holding sway, and then in Bauchi State, and then a few other states like that. Yes, let me get a reaction to this.
I think the issue was, some of us, it was really Kano that was an issue to some of us. Because we believe that the power that build, they are interested in Kano. Some of us will monitor it with the highest level of concern to know what will happen. Let me quickly also correct my brother here. What the Supreme Court said about Kano, it was especially demonstrated by Supreme Court that the ballot papers were signed. They were signed and stamped. What happened is that there was no date written on it. Okay. You have to read the details. The Supreme Court agreed that it was signed. They saw it, said it was signed, it was stamped. But the issue, there was no date. And they now asked, if you are signing documents, what is date when the date have already been fixed for an election? And they also went for that to say, why are you arguing? There was no indication that the governor was able to influence those things. The decision reached by the INEC, and they have given power to INEC. You remember in the presidential level, they said that INEC have power to conduct election. They have power to come out with their guideline. Yeah. And why are you fighting INEC on this? That was what happened in the issue of Kano. Okay. But basically, we give God the glory, where at least when you do what is right, people are bound to celebrate. You look at those who are celebrating in Nigeria now, even those, my friend, we talked before we entered this, so he told me that he was very happy with the judgment. Everybody.
Roy have a way of pushing someone's leg into problem.